Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the upload. Hope you guys are having a great day. My apologies for no upload last night, but it snowed here, as you can see on the ground. We got the Dirty Max plugged in because it is extremely cold. Not only did it snow, but it also got down to the lowest temperatures we've had all year, which was about 15 degrees. So I decided to make things easy on her. If I have to drive her, plugged her in. And yeah, basically she now identifies as a Prius, which should qualify me for a lot of cool perks when I go places. I can park in special spots and everything. So it's really good that we exist in 2019. We can change whatever we want. It's been freezing ass cold and it didn't really snow enough to make like a fun, but I like when it snows because I can make a Duramax snow video, which everybody loves, and I love making them. I love the adventure of it, but it didn't snow enough for like people to get stranded. And obviously like I don't want anybody to get hurt to make a video, but you know, it's kind of cool when all the roads are like closed and there's snow, like feet of snow everywhere. But it didn't snow enough for that. It only snowed about 3 inches. So basically it was just like really, really shitty weather, and I couldn't make any content off it. So that's a double whammy for me. But the Duramax Turbo did arrive, so that will be getting installed here very soon. So that will be an upload. But today we are talking about all kinds of awesome stuff at the Detroit Auto Show. Now for me, we've had 2 big announcements at that show. Really only one that I'm excited about, but another one that a lot of people are asking me about. Now let's start with the good one. Let's start with the Ford Shelby GT500. This car is insanely badass. It has everything that a lot of people thought it was going to have, including myself, but also with one other major thing that I don't think anybody saw coming. At least I didn't think there was any chance of this happening. Let's touch on that right off the bat. So when there was like teaser images of the GT500, and you know, it was known that it was obviously going to come out and it was going to be a car with, nobody really knew the engine specs, but it was going to be, you know, probably a 700 horsepower car. The big rumor a couple of months ago is that it was only going to be offered with an automatic transmission. And to me, and to most people, that meant it was going to be offered with the Ford 10-speed auto that Ford and GM developed together, and you can find in a new Mustang or the Raptor. Of course, those transmissions have changes depending on what application they're in, but that's what everybody thought. It was going to be the 10-speed. Turns out Ford went balls to the wall, and I applaud them for this. This is an incredible move and something that I think is so smart. They put a dual clutch in the GT500. That is epic, guys, freaking epic. The one thing about, you know, going from like a McLaren or a Lamborghini or a Ferrari or a Porsche with the PDK, when you go from that back to a regular torque converter auto, yes, they have made them a lot better. I've driven the 10-speed that Ford and GM made in a couple of different vehicles, and it's better than most automatics, but it's still not even close to the experience of a dual clutch. A dual clutch really kind of gives you the best of both worlds, having a manual and an auto. It's got the convenience of the auto, but it has the instant shift whenever you want it of a manual transmission, and it gives you that feel. You can really feel it driving the car. You can feel the clutches engage, unless it's in a really like regular vehicle that it's tuned out, you know, that experience, that rawness is tuned out. But when I'm driving my McLaren, for example, you can really feel, it feels like a manual car. You're just not using a clutch pedal. So I'm really, really excited about the fact they put in a dual clutch. I've been talking about dual clutches for so long, and I really hope that GM puts in a dual clutch in the new Vet. But that's a really, really cool thing. And that really, for me, was the big kind of like, if that car came out, it was only available with the 10-speed auto, I don't think I'd buy it. You know, even though the 10-speed is very fast, I just don't enjoy driving it. Now, I did drive a GT350R with, of course, a manual, which is only available, the only transmission available in that car, and I loved it. So it is still kind of a bummer there is no manual option at all. It would be nice. And to be honest, you know, I probably would get that in this vehicle just because of the kind of vehicle it is, but a dual clutch is great. It's a great kind of compromise. So if you wanted an auto, if you wanted a manual, you really do get the best of both. And I think just such a smart move on Ford's part. The exact specs and numbers have not been released by Ford, but here's what we do know. They say it has over 700 horsepower. Now, a lot of people are saying 720. I'm actually going to go a little bit higher. I think it might have around 730, 740, but I don't think it's going to be crazy, you know, close to like Dodge Demon numbers in the 800s. I think, you know, below 750 is a good bet. 650 pound-feet of torque or thereabout, and it's going to do 0 to 60 in just over 3 seconds, which is really fast. It's got launch control, it's got line lock, it's got a wing, so I think it's going to be kind of a mix of, it has all the features of any new Mustang you can buy, but I think it's going to be a mix. You know, they didn't want to make a straight line car only like the previous GT500 really was, or like a Dodge Demon or a Hellcat or something like that. They wanted something that was blisteringly fast in a straight line, but could also go around turns. And I think that you're gonna find if it's anything like the 350 or the 350R, it's gonna go around a track just fine. So I'm very excited to see what the performance is like. The only bummer is it is heavier than the 350, and the 350R comes in at close to 3,900 pounds, which is definitely a lot. You know, lighter is better, and you really notice it when you're driving a car, going from a light car to a heavy car. The light car, even with less power, feels better. But luckily, you know, I think it has more than enough power to make that weight gain feel not so significant. Now, it does have the same 5.2 liter flat plane crank V8 from the 350, although this time it comes with a supercharger, a TVS supercharger, actually the same one on the ZR1, which is kind of cool, the new ZR1. I'm not sure if it's, you know, 100% exactly the same, or if it's changed up a little bit to accommodate a different platform and a different car, but either way, that is neat. And it also now has forged internals to handle the boost and the extra power. One other great feature that is back that Ford is doing that for the life of me I can't figure out why nobody else is, but that is the carbon fiber wheels. One of the coolest touches on the 350R and the Ford GT as well. And the fact that the only other car manufacturer you can find doing it is, I think at the moment, Koenigsegg, and I think other brands have carbon fiber spokes, but not the whole barrel. But the fact that Ford does that is amazing, and I wish other manufacturers did as well. To go back and recap on the 500 in case anybody was wondering. So it looks incredible. It sounds incredible. And it's gonna have amazing performance with really cool touches you can't get anywhere else. That makes it a big winner in my book, and the only thing that might bring it down is the pricing. We all know the terrible price gouging that happened when the 350 and the R first came out. And hopefully that doesn't happen again. And also hopefully the base price is around 75 to 80. And if I can get one around that price, if I can get one for MSRP, I will definitely 100% buy one. I'm very excited. I'm in. I've been talking about it for a while, and that is my promise to you guys. Let me know in the comments what you think, but I will totally freaking get a GT500. Everybody loves when I drive a Mustang on the channel, so I would definitely be in for this new one. That is the good news from the show. Now, there were a lot of other releases that, you know, weren't too big. I didn't really care about some other vehicles, but I'm sure everyone wanted to really hear about the GT500 and if I was going to get one. Now, the other car a lot of people have been asking me about is the Supra. And I hate to jump on the bandwagon here, but to me, that car is a huge disappointment. Number one, it's got the NSX syndrome all around, right? So it's taken way too long to come out, and there's been so much hype about it that no matter how good it is, they built it up for like 4 or 5 years now. It feels like it's like, oh, the Supra was revealed. It's like, yeah, I've been seeing that for years already. And maybe, you know, not every detail, but it was basically that same car that's been shown around for literally years. That's kind of lame. Also, the fact that it was built in conjunction with BMW. Not that BMW is a bad brand. They're a great brand. But I think everybody would much prefer Toyota came out with their own thing. Again, BMWs are great, but I don't want like a clone counterpart of my Supra out there as a BMW. I think that kind of sucks. Power is kind of like whatever, you know, it's got 370 horsepower and like 330 pound-feet of torque. It doesn't need a whole lot of power because it's not heavy, and it's also not designed to be like a supercar. So I get it, but also the price. My God, the price, $49,000. Bob Spaghetti said it pretty well. He said, you know, this is just the car that the BRZ always should have been, and I agree with that. You know, it's just I don't know. I'm not a big JDM guy to begin with. Like, Japanese cars don't really, as I stand here and look at my girlfriend's Toyota. I'm not like the biggest fan of Japanese cars, although Fast and the Furious came out when I was at the age to like see it in theaters, and I like all cars, but I don't know, maybe if I was like a big super fanboy, I'd be really excited, but to me, it's kind of disappointing. My opinion subjectively, but objectively, looking at it, you know, I can't see how it's gonna sell very well. $50,000, the people who wanna buy it are younger. Generally, younger people don't wanna spend $50K on a car. So I don't know. You know, I don't think it's going to do well. That's it. That's about all I wanted to cover from the show so far, although something else cool might come out here in a couple days. But again, let me know what you think of the GT500 in the comments below, and do you want me to get one? I'm like 100% serious. You know, I'm really in. Hope you enjoyed this upload. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button. Thank you for watching. Take care and have a great night.